I'm gonna do a test real quick just to make sure. Hello, everyone. Oh boy, looks like everything's a working. And actually, the only thing I'm seeing right now that's not working is that. There it is. Now you can hear some music, hopefully. Yeah. Haha, dope. If anyone does actually join and the music gets like unbearable for whatever reason, just let me know, and we'll get it all figured out. But today we're back in the world of Borovia, playing Curse of Strahd with the Thursday evening group. So today my plans are to get them to the next village. They're gonna have to fight some stuff while they're on the road, just because I think they're getting a little antsy and want to fight some shit. Otherwise, there should be a good amount of role play. We'll see what all happens, you know, but should be a good old time. All right. So if you guys could, someone say something real fast. I want to make sure my stream picks you up.
Hello.
There we go. And you guys aren't getting, like, nothing's blaring out of my microphone or anything, correct?
No, it's good.
Excellent.
Yeah, sounds good.
I don't know if any of you watched my other stream, but we had some technical difficulties for the first 30 minutes of the game, and it was not fun. I was very, very pissed off and almost canceled the session because of it. But there was something that messed up all my audio and made it to where I couldn't even talk. So, can you imagine how hard it would be to DM a game when you can't talk through a mic?
Oh, dude, that'd be terrible.
Yeah, do not sign me up for that. So let's see. Last time we played, I believe, Kevin, you were the only one that couldn't make it. So this will be a recap for everyone else, and this will be an eye-opener for you, besides the fact that you're now a Russian cleric. So.
Okay.
So the last time we left our heroes, you guys were going about the village of Borovia, looking for, I guess, really any sort of answers that you could get as to why the hell are you where you're at. You didn't really find them, but what you did, you heard a lot of different other things. You heard one. There was echoes of a woman crying somewhere within the location. You went to the inn, the tavern that was in that place called the Blood of the Vine Tavern, and inside of there, you guys met a gentleman named Ismark. Let me see if I can find his thing real fast, and I will show his face again. But anyway, you guys met Ismark. You should be able to see him now.
Yep.
He popped up. Alright.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this gentleman, Ismark, he had greeted you guys, told you to come and have a seat with him. The wine was on him. You guys went and indulged in a glass. He told you guys some things, but what he was most curious about was how you guys came to be to this location, which you guys had remarked you had no real clue, which brought joy to him because he told you guys he's seen this happen before. In fact, he was hoping that this would happen again because typically when these people come, he feels that their whole objective is to rid the land of Borovia from the curse of Strahd. Anyway, he had asked you guys if you would be able to help him bring his younger sister, whose name is Irene. So let me... Boom. This is Irene. He wants to bring his sister Irene to a different city of Vallaki in order to make sure that she gets out of the sort of, I guess, the grasp of Strahd himself. Does my voice sound different to you guys?
No.
New.
It sounds normal.
Yeah.
Interesting, because for some reason my stream... Thanks, Bree, for telling me that. My stream, for whatever reason, is all muffled. Does it sound any better yet?
It sounds more or less the same.
Gotcha. Okay. On Twitch I sound fine, but I guess on Facebook I sound awful. Oh well, I guess.
Yeah, Facebook's quality is low.
Yeah, I guess that's probably true, yeah. So sorry for those on Facebook. You don't have to tune in. Anyway, so Irene is currently caught the eye of Strahd, and so far, from what you guys have seen, is she has bite marks on her neck. But yeah, she's got bite marks on her neck from the vampire himself, and her older brother wants to get her to the new place, the new town, because he feels that it's a lot more heavily guarded, and it should be a lot safer for his little sister. So you guys agreed to help him with doing that, and as you guys went to go and fetch his sister, you guys had come to realize that their mansion had been under attack for quite a few days, or weeks rather, beforehand, and it was humanoid figures in the night and wolves that were attacking their estate. It got so intense that their father actually died from the stress of it all, and they refused to leave the village of Borovia to set off on this journey until he was properly buried. So you guys were like, all right, cool, we'll help out. So a couple of you barbarian folk manhandled the corpse, and you brought it towards the cemetery, and lo and behold, outside of the cemetery, or outside of the church rather, there lie in waiting Strahd himself, with 2 dire wolves at his side. He had called out to Irene saying that he was thankful that you guys brought her to him safely, but he would take it from here. And then he unleashed the wolves to go and fight you guys. So as you guys were fighting the wolves, you noticed that Irene started walking very slowly towards him, almost as if she was entranced. You guys were able to dispatch the wolves quickly enough and get in between Strahd and Irene to where the charm effect had ended, and he told you that this would not be the last time that he comes to see her, and he looks forward to the next time that you all meet, and then disappeared. From there, Ismark said that you guys needed to hurry because there's no telling what would happen in the future if you guys would even be prepared for it. So you went into the church, and in there you heard some screams coming from underneath the church. It was kind of strange, but the priest had agreed to do all the rites and recite some burial prayer for their father. Afterwards, he hurriedly went into the church to try and quell the sound that you guys were hearing, but of course, being adventurers, you guys wanted to go and check it out, see what the hell was going on. You guys found out from what he had told you that about a year ago or so, his son and a bunch of other of the villagers had risen up in revolt and stormed the gates of Ravenloft, which is the castle that sits sort of on a hill past the mist. You guys have heard of it, but you haven't been able to see it because of how misty it is. Anyway, they stormed the gates, and just about everybody was killed in this, except for the priest's son, who ended up coming back as a vampire spawn, from what you guys were told. And the priest was able to lock him underneath to prevent him from escaping until he can figure out how to get his son back. And all you guys can hear is the child, or it, screaming from underneath, "Father, I'm hungry." So you guys were like, yeah, we'll try to help you, but we got nothing really right now, unless you want him to just be killed. but he didn't want that, so he urged you guys to find a way to bring his son back to him in the future. With that, you guys were able to set off on your journey, but you decided best to stay in the mansion as the sun was setting. So that's what you did. And during your various watches, you saw a couple different things. You saw some ravens take perch outside of the mansion, almost as if they were there to overlook you and protect you guys. You guys did see some dire wolves sort of sniffing around the outskirts of the house to see what was going on, and pretty much were they were alerted. Their presence was alerted by the ravens, so you guys knew they were there, and they ran off. Then you guys saw what Ismark claims to be called the March of the Dead, and you saw these green souls all coming and pouring out of the cemetery. Hundreds, if not thousands, of these ghostly specters all walking down the road. And Ismark told you guys the story of all the other adventurers that had gotten sucked into this land, and their sole goal was to go and kill Strahd, but they all failed. And this is them going every single night to try to win again, but they never do. So you guys ended up going, well, that kind of sucks, and tried to get sleep. But this whole experience, this whole being in a whole different world that you don't even understand how you got here, has been throwing you guys off. So some of you slept a little better than others, but it wasn't the soundest sleep you've ever had. The following morning, you guys went ahead and packed up your stuff and started walking down the road, heading towards the new village of, well, it's not a new village, but the village of Vallaki. And on the way, one of the most notable things that you saw was ravens were following you. First, it was just a raven. Then a couple others joined, and then after about an hour passed, about 100 ravens were flying from branch to branch, overlooking you guys as you traveled. But your friend Snoopy told you guys not to really worry about it, that everything should be fine, because he saw that the ravens were kind of keeping watch for you guys the night before, so he trusts them. Other than that, you guys made it safely to a fork in the road, where you saw this sort of gypsy-looking woman sitting, and as her eyes met yours, she had approached you guys and said that she had actually been there for a while waiting for you. You guys asked some questions about why, and she told you that she was sent, or her leader, Madame Ava, was able to see in the cards that you all were destined to meet her, and that she would urge you to follow her to their camp, which you guys did. And when you got there, you joined the bonfire that was currently going on, and some of the drinking antics and such, and had a pretty good time. You told a couple stories, you heard some really good stories, and eventually you were asked to go into the tent to meet Madame Eva. And when you did, she had told you guys that she had been waiting for you. It had been told in the cards for a few weeks now that you would be here at some point, and that she offered to read your fortunes, which she did. Let me go to... If you go to the Curse of Strahd channel on my Discord, there's a text file that shows the readings and what they came out to be. So I won't go over the whole thing just because you guys should be able to read it. But essentially what she did was she pulled out 5 cards from a deck and she laid them out. The first 3 cards she told you were items that would help you in your journey. The 4th card was about a person that would be able to help you fight the dark being that you were sent here to kill. And the 5th card would tell you a location that you should be able to find him if you can't find him anywhere else. So after that, she started to cackle in the night. And that is where we will begin our session. So let's see, we got... There we go. So you guys are currently inside of Madame Ava's tent. So, now that you know what you're here for, are you afraid?
Snoopy's not afraid of anything.
I say we got a couple good cards. I'm not too worried about much.
I'm
I
Frankie.
have no
and
reason to be afraid.
I'm scared, said Frankie. Because I'm a bitch.
Oh, don't tell me. No, Mr. DJ doesn't work anymore? You gotta be fucking kidding me. Oh. Do you guys hear him?
Si, senor.
Beautiful. Alright, cool. Well, very good, very good. Because fear could be your downfall.
My master always told me that the only thing to fear is fear itself.
What a silly saying. But there's some truth to it. Now, you're all more than welcome to stay the night within our confinements. We will make sure that you are properly taken care of and you have food and wine to fill your bellies before you head off on your journey, as it is quite dark out there. But if you do not feel comfortable in the company of strangers, you may leave. But we are allies. Unless you see otherwise.
I don't see any reason why. You guys are friends for me. I'm friends with everybody.
You watch as she waves her hand and a mage hand comes over to scratch you under the chin.
Oh yeah, that's what I like.
It would seem so. Unfortunately for the rest of you, your dog seems much more intelligent. I jest. And
the
she
most
starts to pick
talkative.
up the cards. That's true. She starts to pick up the cards and shuffles the deck before putting it back into a little card or a little box and putting it underneath her table. Well, if you don't mind, it is getting quite late, and I have things to attend to. Go ahead, be gone.
Get up and walk.
So Joe, my buddy Martin from my other campaign, says that your character's already his favorite just because you're a fucking dog.
Goddamn right. Alright, Frankie's gonna come over here and try to steal a horse. I'm just kidding.
Alright.
That'd be
I guess
fun,
we're
huh?
doing this.
Roll initiative.
No. So, as you guys walk out, most of these other folks have already started to kind of settle down. They're all kind of just staring into the fire, and as you guys leave the tent and start walking over, one of them kind of throws a water skin towards you. Ah, come and drink with us, if you're not too sleepy, of course.
Frankie snatches it out of the air. Hell yeah! And just takes the biggest swig that any
Okay,
dwarf ever could.
Sounds like something Frankie would do for sure.
I don't see
I
why
like
not.
your spirit.
I go and curl up by the fire.
I'll pass. I'll stand guard. Always ready.
No harm in
Yes.
having a quick drink.
I thought you
Little
were
bit.
Russian.
You haven't understood that I've taken speech classes.
Oh.
Getting better by the day.
Are you Jamaican now?
No, no, it's a common tongue. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, sure. Whatever, just drink. He looks very awkwardly away from you as he starts to drink his own water skin.
Do you guys have a bowl?
Yeah, hold on. And one of them gets up and heads towards the tent. And he goes rummaging around some of the supplies he's got on the outside before he grabs a bowl. Are you able to drink wine, or would you rather have water, maybe?
Water, please.
Okay. He heads over to the river, which you can hear the river as it flows. It's very calming, especially when you kind of look around. And this has probably been one of the most relaxing locations that you've been to so far since you've come to this world. The mist still lingers off in the distance. You can see the night sky. It's kind of clear, clear enough to where you can see stars. And every now and then a cloud engulfs the whole sky. But, sometimes it clears up to where you can see it. And that's when you kind of see in the distance for the first time. You see a very large structure, miles and miles away, standing atop a very large hill. And as these gentlemen and ladies are kind of observing you guys, they look over at what you're looking at. Ah, Castle Ravenloft. Best to steer clear from there as best you can. Most of the folks that go in there that are uninvited are never seen again. And he
Who would
takes a
ever get
swig of his
invited?
wine. What'd you say?
Who would ever get invited?
Various folks from time to time. Honestly, some of our people from other encampments go there, and they're invited, of course, so they can come and go as they please. But I don't know if you've heard of a story. About a year ago, there was a revolt, and that city of Borovia that you all came from, they have stormed the gates of the castle and tried to take out the devil Strahd himself. And I'll tell you now, the world is a couple hundred folks lesser after that day. It's a very dangerous place.
And so that's Strahdy's house? Who else lives there?
No idea. I've never gone out of fear. I do not wish to become someone's next meal on accident.
I want to take a look around. Do any of these guys look like they can handle themselves? Like, are they all just kind of what they look like in their pictures?
Yeah, they kind of look like, now not all of them have the same, big ass soul patch and stuff, but they all do kind of dress similarly. They've got, a lot of them have like the deepest V's that you've ever seen, so they got their chest hair poking out and stuff like that. They have a bunch of different jewelry that they wear, anywhere from necklaces, rings to earrings. Some of them have beads in their hair as they've braided them and stuff like that. But they all wear a variety of colors as well. Something you did notice about the village of Borovia, most of the Borovian people wore a bunch of like dull gray colors.
I'd like to address that and be like, why do you guys wear such colorful stuff? Is that specific to your culture?
I would say so, yes. We're a bunch of fun-loving people, And what's more fun than colors? And he sort of like grabs his clothing and sort of stretches it until it falls back onto his chest. This place is quite dull at times. That's why we like to camp out in our own settlements as opposed to heading back to the village of Borovia and other places. Very dull, very grim place.
I guess that
But
makes
I
sense. And
guess
it's nice.
yes.
It's a nice change. I appreciate it, even though I can't really see colors that all good. Uh,
That all good. I like that.
I say I like it. Brings out your eyes.
gay.
Ha!
Nothing like
Gay.
that. I just like vibrant colors.
Would you call yourself gypsy?
Yeah, we don't really have a place to live. We come and go as we please from this land, which is, well, something our ancestors did must have made the gods pleased in this world. Not anyone else is able to do such a thing. But it makes the folks of this land a lot more weary of us. Almost as if we're up to no good. But I assure you our intentions are well for those, especially adventurers like yourselves.
Is there any way that you could help us? I mean, we got our fortune read, but do you guys have any wares or anything that you could spare for us?
Yeah, I'm sure maybe there's some supplies we don't quite need, and we'd be happy to part with them. What exactly are you looking for, maybe?
Oh, you know, magic stuff. Sick loot, bro.
They kind of look at each other
Uh,
like, we don't really have anything like that, unfortunately.
Well,
We've got
just
wine.
typical wares. Do you have any studded leather armor made for a dog?
No, definitely not.
Well, I actually have quite a bit of stuff, but if you could spare any rations or wine or really
Sure,
gold, I
sure.
know that's a lot to ask.
Gold probably not.
Or
But
potions?
we don't have any of those either. We don't have really any use for them.
I
But
see.
we can give you guys a couple flagons of wine if you would like, and enough rations to last you a few days.
That'd be swell. You know what would be the most helpful, and I know this is a lot to ask, but a beast of burden.
They look over at their horses and like, unfortunately, it takes two horses to pull a wagon, and we're not really trying to give away a wagon.
I totally understand. Just thought I'd ask. Maybe you had a sickly donkey hidden somewhere or something.
They all kind of look at you. A couple of them start to smirk, like give like they're trying not to laugh or anything like that. You know, that kind of face. Well, a couple of them start stretching and standing up and bidding everyone good night as they head towards their tent. And a few more of them kind of get closer to the fire now that seats has opened up, and they keep on sipping on their wine. But they all look like they're quite drunk at this point and trying to just kind of relax.
I'll curl up and take a nap.
Okay.
I find a corner somewhere and meditate.
Okay.
Frankie's gonna go try and
Drow?
hit on what's her name? Irene.
Yeah, drows have a trance, so they only have to have like 4 hours of meditation. So if you guys want to do watches or anything, let me know what order you do them in. Because of Ed Simmons having his trance ability, you only really have to do 2 watches while he meditates, and then after that, everyone else can sleep to get a long rest. So if you want to stay watch, roll me a perception check. Otherwise, if you're content with just everyone going to sleep, we will continue to the next day.
Snoopy will take a watch.
Okay.
I'll throw that perception out there.
And then, Kevin,
Uh-oh.
go ahead and throw me 2 perception checks for the, I guess, 2 watches that you would actually just one for the time that you're awake while the rest of your party is asleep. Okay.
Yeah,
Wait,
I'm
time
doing
out,
one.
time out.
But
Time out, Kevin. You should have proficiency in perception.
yeah, so it's a natural 20, and
Okay.
we'll just have to add your modifiers, which is all good and well. just gotta
Elves, I
figure
think,
out
have
what
it
they are.
neatly.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you've got a +5, so you rolled a 25 for that.
Okay.
You just clicked on the wrong
Oh,
thing, and that's all good.
you clicked persuasion. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did the wrong thing. Oh, God.
Whoops. But you're good. You're good. Okay. So Snoopy curls up and takes a nap. Frankie and Boris find a spot and undo their bedroll and go down for the night. Snoopy eventually sort of wakes up as the fire starts to. It has this final like crackle before it like goes out, and it kind of disturbs him a little bit. So he wakes up, sort of rubs his eyes, and shakes his head. And as the last ember is sort of like trying to hold on as long as it can, Snoopy lifts up a leg and just pisses on it. And there's a nice little sizzle sound as his urine meets the hot flames, or what used to be. Proud of himself, he starts to sniff around the camp just to see what's going on, and he smells nothing but wine. A bunch of wine. He goes to another location and smells even more wine. And gets to the point where he's like, okay, these guys are drunk off their ass. He gets close to where the party is kind of gathered around and sort of just lays his head down and looks around to make sure nothing is popping off. And one thing you do notice is you look towards the trees, and there's like a light mist on the floor of the forest. And you see a pair of yellow eyes looking at you from the tree branches. As you kind of perk up a little bit and walk a little closer to investigate, you notice that these yellow eyes belong to a raven. And it kind of sits there and tilts its head at you, and it caws one time before it takes flight and flies away. And you kind of just watch, and you're kind of thinking to yourself, what the fuck are these ravens doing? Like, why do they keep popping in and out like this? Regardless, Ed ends up coming out of his trance and gives you a pat on the head, saying, good boy," and tells you, all right, go to bed, go lay down. And you're like, okay, whatever. And you go and you curl up next to Boris, and you notice that Boris is really warm. Like this, he radiates heat, and you're like, whew, this is nice. So you curl up with Boris, who ends up putting an arm around you almost like a teddy bear, and conveniently his thumb pops into his mouth. Ed, as you're kind of looking around, everyone else has passed the fuck out while you're just sitting there chilling. Eventually, Madame Ava's tent opens up, and she walks out, and she starts to walk and starts to talk to all the horses in a whisper as to not wake anybody up. Just so you're aware, this is what Madame Ava looks like. Very, very old woman.
Very, very attractive.
You're talking to the horse, I assume?
Maybe I'm not.
I don't think you could handle it, honey. And she winks at you and continues walking towards the horses, feeding them and petting them. Other than that, nothing pops off during the time that you're awake. And as the sun starts to rise, you notice that the cloud coverage takes hold and you can no longer see the sky anymore. Much like you've come to know already being in this world, there's no real sun. Like you know the sun is there because everything starts to light up, but you can never see the sun. And it starts to get a little cooler as the wind starts to pick up, and off in the distance it looks like it's raining at that large structure that you guys had seen yesterday. Other than that, nothing goes or no incident happens during the night. And as you guys wake up, all these folks are sober, and some of them are hungover, and they go around and start preparing breakfast. They offer you a bowl, um, should you choose to accept or not. But Ismark and Irene eventually they get all their stuff packed up and look to you guys. Well, it's probably going to take us a couple of hours to get to the city. Shall we be off?
Let's go.
I'm ready.
Set out.
I'm ready.
So let's see, I'll put you guys here for now while I describe stuff. Okay. So as you guys leave, the the folks there, which you know their people are known as Vistani. That's kind of like their I guess race name. So the people of the land are known as Borovians, and these people are known as Vistani. So there's a clear distinction between the two. Um, they're more of gypsy folk, whereas the Borovians are the ones that have lived here and kind of, know the land to be kind of a cursed land, whereas these folks seem more happy about life. But you guys grab your bags and you start to head on out. And as you're walking down the road, you can hear cracking of tree branches in the distance. You can hear various different sound like wolves howling in the distance. I'm not gonna play that one song that I played last time because that was awful. That was just too much wolf howling. But I will play this song. Very good. You do hear various ravens cawing out. Sometimes they fly overhead. Other times they perch and sort of look at you, caw, and fly away, almost as if they're following you. It's very strange. And this happens pretty much your whole journey. But as you're moving along, this sort of you notice that this path that you're on is more of a recent path, like recently made path. Um, and once you get towards the end of it, you get back to the main road. And that's when you come on to a location that kind of looks like a small waterfall. And there's a nice little cobblestone bridge, probably about 10 foot wide, about 50 feet long, that you guys start to cross. Let's see. So you follow the river to the base of a canyon, at the far end of which a great waterfall spills into a pool, billowing forth clouds of cold mist. So you guys can hear the like of the waterfall. Cue basic waterfall noises. A great stone bridge spans the canyon nearly 1,000 feet overhead. So the canyon, it does look like the. So yeah, this location is deep, deep under this canyon. I would show you guys the map, but you don't have a map, so. But it's actually a little bit more peaceful than you would expect. Even though you do see at the top of the canyon, you can see various like portions of that thick fog, almost as if it's following you. But you guys continue forward, and you come up to a bend in the road, and as you start to deviate towards the left, the crow or the ravens have disappeared at this point. You continue forward for about, let's see, another mile before you get to a fork in the road. And as you're approaching this fork in the road, there's to the left, a great distance away, you can see a really large gate. And it's very similar to the gate that you guys entered this land from. And coming from that gate, you can see this black carriage. So even here in the mountains, the forest and the fog are inescapable. Ahead of you, the dirt road splits in two, widening towards the east. There you see patches of cobblestone, suggesting that the eastern branch was once an important thoroughfare. And as you guys approach to the dirt road to the left and the cobblestone heading to the right, this black carriage is probably about 100 feet away from you as it's coming by. And Ismark immediately grabs Irene by the wrist and he runs for the forest line.
I'm gonna follow.
Okay. You guys see Norris
Sorry.
or Boris.
I'm gonna follow too. I was muted.
Okay.
I'm eating.
Oh yeah, you're good. So I'll assume that the others, unless you specifically state otherwise, I'll assume that when the other characters make a decision, the rest of the group follows it. So you guys start to run away from this black carriage, hoping it didn't see you. And you go and find a couple trees, probably about 15 feet off of the trail, and you hide and duck behind them. As the carriage draws closer and closer, you can hear the wheels as they're sort of like bouncing around, hitting various rocks that are on the ground. And as it gets to the cobblestone, you hear it rolling probably about 5-10 feet, and then it stops. And you no longer hear anything.
Could I try to peek?
Oh
to
shit!
see what's going on?
Again.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a perception check. Okay. So you peek around the corner and like half of your body is sticking out from the tree as you're doing so. And you see on the cobblestone road, you see the black carriage. And the thing that's weird about it now that it's a little closer to you, you notice that the horses are skeletons of horses. They're not actual horses. And they're kind of just sitting there. They've got like this rotted, matted mane, and they kind of shake their head. Their tails flicker around, swatting at the flies as they fly around the corpses. And you're sitting there looking, and all of a sudden the carriage door opens. At that point, you duck back behind the tree, hoping you weren't seen.
I want to take a look at Snoopy.
Okay, roll me perception. Cool.
Jesus.
So Snoopy, he comes out and he can't see anything because of how small he is, and the road kind of dips probably about 5 feet before you got to that thing. So Snoopy runs out to the middle of the road and gets out there, and he can finally see the carriage, and he sees that the doors are open. And as he's looking at it, the horses are just sitting there. And then a voice from behind you. Ah, the cute puppy. And you turn around sort of startled, and there's Strahd about 5 feet in front of you. What is your favorite treat, my puppy?
Bones. I like roll on my
Bones.
back. Total
Oh,
submissive.
you are quite cute. And he starts to rub your belly. I wonder what you taste like. Might I have a taste for myself?
I don't taste very good. I won't think you should.
As he gets a little bit closer, as he scratched your belly, he puts his hand behind your head, and his face starts to get closer. Just a little taste. This won't hurt. I promise. And as he says
I
that,
blink.
he
I was.
all of a sudden, and you guys are, I would assume you guys now are watching because you've heard this voice. So you guys look over and you see Strahd as he looks like he's about to bite your Snoopy companion. And as he is about to go in, he shows his fangs, and all of a sudden Snoopy's no longer there. And Snoopy is back behind the tree by you guys, and tail tucked, and he gets behind Boris's leg, and he's shaking. What a neat trick! Well, he claps his hands. There's no need to be alarmed. I was just heading home after my morning visit to the city of Vallaki. Hopefully, your travels are safe. And as he starts to walk away, he looks over towards all of you. But I cannot guarantee your safety. Irene, soon, my dear. I have much business to do today, but soon I will come to escort you back to my home, to your home. And as Strahd, he takes his time. It takes him probably like a whole minute to walk from this location to where his carriage is. And you guys watch as he sort of gets in. And before the doors close, he sort of, it looks like as if he's holding on to like a bar on the inside or something. And he sort of leans out and he winks at you guys, gets back in, the doors close, and the horses neigh, a very like hoarse skeletal neigh, and then they start to trot along the road. Uh, as you guys are kind of like catching your bearings, Irene is silent and she's sweating profusely. Ismark has his hand on his blade, and he also is sweating. And they look at you guys.
If I
The
had
dog
sweat,
is the dog is actually a blink rogue.
I'm gonna go over towards Irene and kind of offer, what is it, comfort, and hopefully get some back.
Okay. So
I
you
look
kind
a
of you
bit
you
more.
walk over towards Irene and you use your nose to like sort of lift up her hand, hoping that she'll pet you, and she's frozen. Not like literally frozen, but like shocked.
I look with a bit of concern and check if everybody's okay.
Yeah, as you look around, everyone seems to be fine. The only one that was in any real danger was Snoopy. Although just the sight of Strahd kind of takes away Irene's comfort, as well as Ismark. But Ismark, he sort of he kind of shakes his head and goes, "That just tells me that we've got very little time. We need to leave."
Yeah, I'm with you there. All right, let's get out of here.
Yeah. I'll say, if Strahd's already visited the city, maybe we should go somewhere else.
Well, the only other place that the priest had said, there is another location we could go to. It's past the city, but it is a location nonetheless. Used to be a holy ground.
In my experience, places that used to be holy grounds are usually the worst place to hide from vampires and werewolves.
I say we might be able to check it out as well. Something's alluring to me about that.
Yes, that. Well, let us stop in Vallaki since it's on the way regardless, and then we can figure it out from there. Does that sound good?
Sounds good to me.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. And just so you guys are aware, the Abbey of Saint Markovia is the other location that the priest had told you about. So you guys head back on. Now, do you go left or right at the fork in the road?
Well, I'm gonna ask Ishmael. Should we go left or right at this fork in the road? I've never been to this city.
Definitely left, as Strahd's castle is to the right.
Let's go left.
Okay. So, with, I believe it was Boris leading the way and Frankie in the back, or the other way around. I don't remember what your marching order is, but you guys start to walk and you get a little bit closer to this gate, and it almost looks exactly the same. It's kind of off-putting how similar this gate is to the one that you had entered this land in on. The only thing that is different is that the mists aren't surrounding it to a full extent, not that thick mist. There is always mist around, but it's not super thick like the other unwelcoming mist that you guys had experienced before. So as you guys pass these gates, you notice that the left gate is completely detached and ruined. There's a lot of big ass pieces of iron, probably like 50 feet to 100 feet in length. Some of them are complete, such as the gate, because the gate is 100 feet tall. But others are like all broken and battered and laid to the side. So you guys are able to, pass through the gate without any issue. And as you walk through, you start to go sort of on this sort of downward slope, even deeper into this canyon. There are trees that look to be clawing at the sky, almost as if they're coming alive to do this, but it's just the breeze after you kind of like smack your face awake. After a while, probably another mile, you guys come to another fork in the road, and this fork, one of them leads sort of on the same level path. The other one kind of goes uphill. And as you look up the hill, you see an old windmill that doesn't look like it's working. Best to stay away from there. Come on. That was Ismark, by the way.
Those gates back there, how did they get so beat up?
They're very old. Probably older than Strahd is himself. But, no one really maintains them, so after time, everything comes to an end. But even though I believe the same would happen to Strahd, but I don't have time to wait around for that to happen. We have to take action.
Why don't you want to go to the windmill?
Well, you recall the dream pastries from back in the village, correct?
Yes, I wanted one very.
Well, that is the location where that woman makes the dream pastries. And just knowing what she takes from people that cannot pay for her pastries anymore, I can only imagine the horrors that dwell within that windmill itself. So I would rather not try it. Maybe after we get to Vallaki, if you guys want to double back and check it out, be my guest. But I am not going to risk my sister's life for your curiosity. No offense.
That sounds like a plan.
I'd rather not get into any unnecessary trouble.
Hey, can you
See?
guys hear me?
Yes. Do you keep muting yourself or what? Joe? I bet his headphones died or something. I'll type to him in the chat real quick.
Cool. Well, I can't hear anything. So 1 second.
Yeah,
Alright.
I keep
There we
having to like unplug my headset and plug it back in because it randomly like mutes you guys.
Alright. I'm back.
Hmm.
I hear.
Dope.
Okay, last thing I heard was I asked if that was the lady with the treats windmill.
Oh, yes. And Ismark did tell you that is, in fact, her windmill. That's where they create the treats. And he would rather not see what is inside, just because he can only imagine what unfathomable horrors lie within. Especially because
Ishmael,
some of the times that woman takes away the children of people that can't pay for her pastries.
Ishmael, would you consider yourself like the leader of your town?
No, that would be my father. He's the burgomaster.
The dead one? Right? He's
Well,
now.
correct. So actually, now I have to think. And he kind of starts to look up at the sky in deep thought as you guys continue to walk.
Hold on, Ishmael.
Maybe.
This might be your shot to make a huge difference for your town. I'm assuming you guys don't really like that lady going around snatching, breaking in your window, snatching your people up.
Trying to rape them.
We can put a stop to this right now.
All I gotta say is you gotta hide your kids and hide your wives. That's
Thank you.
Roll persuasion, Snoopy.
Sorry. Persuasion.
He kind of looks down after thinking about his home, and then he looks to his sister, and then he looks to you guys and goes, "Well, I, I, I guess you're right. We could end this now. Now I do have your help, and with us nearby, maybe strength in numbers, we can overtake her."
I think the best way to go about it would be to try and investigate
Oh
the
yeah.
windmill first.
Let's not just run.
Yeah, let's not try to take it right off the bat.
But I would like to, and I'm gonna say Frankie does too. What about you guys?
Yes, we could find something that may help us overall.
Yeah, and we can even
Yeah,
get
she
these
took off
treats.
someone,
let's
and we
just
can
take
try a
it slow.
treat.
Just take it slow for right now.
Oh yeah.
Don't think-
If only
think
you
it's
guys had a
attack.
sneaky little rogue to go help scout it out. Oh wait, you totally have a blinky rogue.
You do have a point. I guess I'm okay with it.
All right, I look at Ishmael, give him a nod, and I'll say, "You're going to be the best leader that there's ever been."
Yes, especially with friends like you, we should have no issue. And he puts a hand on his sword. Lead the way.
All right, so what are we looking at here?
I'm about to show
Can we
you.
even see it, right? You said we could see it.
Well, yeah, you guys can see it. It's like it's about half a mile away from you guys as you start marching up the hill. I gotta make sure the map works properly the way I need it to.
I know she saw Snoopy when Snoopy tried to steal one, but I'm trying to think who
I
else
rolled
you
like
saw.
super low too.
Yeah, who else did
I
you
mean, that's
see?
metagaming, but my bad.
Oops. Trying to bring the map.
Oh
I don't
no,
know
I
what
didn't.
the. Hey Martin, do you know if there's a way to like a hotkey that brings the player's marker thing to the map that you want them to be on? I don't think there is. I think you have to literally drag and drop it every time. Let's see. So give me 1 second. So as you guys start marching up the hill, uh, the old road transitions here from being a winding path through the mountains to a lazy trail that hugs the mountainside as it descends into a fog-filled valley. At the heart of the valley, you see a walled town near the shores of a great mountain lake. Its water dark and still. A branch in the road, a branch in the road leads to a promontory atop which is perched a dilapidated stone windmill, its warped wooden vanes stripped bare.
And is there how far away is it from like the edge of the forest? Is there, or is it way out in the open?
Let me see. So this windmill is on a hill, and it's probably, I would say, 100 feet away from the forest edge.
Okay. So do you guys want me to go check it out?
Yeah, you're probably our best bet as far as speed.
Go ahead and do your thing, buddy.
Irene, what are you capable of? I see you have a
Irene
sword.
looks at you. Yes, she does have a sword, and she tells you, well, I'm not as capable as my brother, but I do know to stick them with the pointy end.
All right, Arya, let's do this.
I had a dirty joke for that, but I'm gonna just hold that in.
All right, so I'll go up the just inside the forest all the way like perpendicular to the windmill. So like I'm gonna try to avoid being directly in front of windows. And then I'll sneak up as close as I can get.
So I gotta do a thing real quick. Where the hell did it go?
She's not gonna like seeing me again.
Hold on, I screwed up a thing. Alright, say what you're doing again.
So I want to go up as far as I can on the edge of the forest and then cut in like between windows so it's less likely that they'll be seen from the inside.
Okay, so
And
you
then
go
unless I
around.
before I go from the forest in, I want to see if anybody's outside like looking guard. I don't want to just walk straight into a guy.
Okay. Yeah, so as you're walking towards like you start to go towards the side of the windmill, and like you have a pretty good like because of the slope, you're able to kind of duck down to where you can't see the windows yourself. But you get a little bit closer just to see if there's anybody outside, and you don't see anything. Uh, More remarkable, you don't see the cart that one lady was hauling around.
Hmm. Maybe she's not back yet. So I'll go out of the forest and towards the building.
Okay.
Sneak.
Go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
How about a nice natural 1 again?
Okay. So let me try. Let me do a thing real quick. I want to make sure this works.
Delayed fireball.
perfect.
Nice.
No.
You
So
take
you should be able to see.
33d6.
So this is where you're at. You're able to get like roughly about 10 feet away. And how far is the rest of the group away from Snoopy?
I guess you guys get to choose. Frankie is going to be on the edge of the forest line, like where Snoopy went in at.
Okay. So 100 feet away.
Yeah.
Is it possible for me to move around the forest to get on another side of so that I could see another angle of it, but still on the forest line? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Just around
So
the perimeter.
just so you guys are aware, the forest is actually on the opposite end of the windmill from where you guys are approaching it from. You guys are coming at it from the canyon. So you're like down in the canyon and you have to go uphill. The forest that you're coming from is, probably I think it's half a mile back. So it's been like open road at this point. Yeah, it's been open road for you guys. So the forest, you have to actually like go past the windmill, and it's on a downward hill. That's where the forest is. I apologize if I messed up on your understanding.
So I had to like sneak below the hill to get to the forest unseen.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see.
Which there was no issue doing that. So if anyone
Since
else
I'm
wants to
2
do
feet
that,
tall.
you're able to
Oh.
do that. You're just on the opposite side of the windmill from the entrance. So yeah, if Boris wants to be on the forest side, he would do that easy, and the rest of the group would probably follow behind as well, just to kind of keep everyone relatively together.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. What about you guys? Instead out in the open.
I mean, Frankie agrees. But Kevin.
Look, man.
Special ed over here.
Uh, uh, uh. You play that role well.
Is that a no?
Yeah, that's enough.
So what do you want to do?
I just want to admire the scenery.
You don't want to... I thought you said you wanted to take out this windmill. I can't. No, sorry. This is Frankie, not Snoopy. Snoopy's already...
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say Snoopy's like far as fuck away.
You know what? Fine, I'll oblige. Let's go ahead and follow through of getting this windmill out the way.
That's good, because looks like we already started. Snoopy's doing his little thing out here. So I get to about 10 feet away, right? In this building.
Yep.
And I'm trying to look at this picture of this windmill. Is there like little windowsills in front of the windows on the left and right side of that windmill? On the first level. Like
There are,
flying
yes.
buttresses.
It's not on.
At,
It's on the second. It's on the second story. So if you go, I'll
right,
put you
there's the
back on that
door.
side. Yeah. So you got the door on the front part, and then the windows are above it, and those are about. Let's see. I have a description here. Those are about 8 feet above where the door is.
All right. I'm gonna blink up on top of up on one of those.
Okay. So that'll put you, boom, here.
Oh, nice. And is there no window?
There is, but there's no like so as you're like coming, actually you could get right here. And as you peer on the in the window, it's caked in dirt
No.
on the inside.
What? So do I hear anything inside or smell anything? What's going on here?
Yeah, if you want to do a perception check, and since it's hearing and smelling that you have advantage on, go ahead and roll it with advantage. Okay,
Not needed.
let's see. So you sniff around and it smells like treats are definitely being cooked here. It smells exactly like the pastries that you tried to steal the day before. When you try to hear stuff in this particular location, you don't hear much. But as you get closer to the window, you hear grinding sounds. Think of what an actual mill would sound like as it's crushing the flour and stuff like that.
But
That's
the
what you would
windmill's
hear.
not turning.
Correct. So
Hmm.
it's not as pronounced, I guess you could say.
Interesting. Is that so? I kind of want to go around. It's the case with all of these windows here that I can.
Correct.
Well, shit. What should I do here?
As you kind of start to move around just a little bit from the next window seal up, you hear what sounds like a child. Ow!
Oh, these must be the children. Um, and can I look up at the other windows, like up above? Do they look caked up too?
From this location, yeah. And if you here, I'm gonna bring you back to this side of the map real fast. So if you notice the dome, you're kind of sitting right here. You can sort of like get back on the edge and look up at this window, and sort of you can definitely see that it looks super dark. And I'll
Okay.
bring it back to the sort of outskirts.
Um, so I'm gonna go up to one of the windows and gently rub my nose on it to see if any of the dirt clears up, or it might be
Okay.
inside.
So yeah, as you sort of rub your nose against it, your nose is definitely dusty now. Roll a Constitution save, please, to
Oh
avoid
no, I don't want to
sneezing.
sneeze.
Okay, so you kind of like as you're like rearing back and your eyes are doing that wonky kind of thing where you're trying to hold it back. You put your paws on your nose and stop breathing for a second, and the sneeze goes away. You, but then you shake your head and your collar starts making that clinging sound, and all of a sudden you're, huh? Also kidding, that didn't happen. You don't have a collar.
Uh,
But yeah, so you keep yourself from sneezing. But as you look and investigate where your wet nose had wiped away some of the dust, you still can't see inside.
dang. All right. Um, so since I can't scout anything here, are there any cracks like way up top, like that I
Not
might be
big
able to
enough
see
for
through
you to get in, unfortunately, from what
to
you're
see
able to
in?
see. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, then in that case, I'm gonna blink back and go head towards my group.
Okay.
Do I need to be
So you guys,
sneaky?
as you're watching, no, the blink should be relatively, like, I don't think it makes like a noise or anything like that. And if it did, I don't know how you would go about making it quieter. So I'm just going to rule that it's just like an instant sort of thing. It's not like Dragon Ball Z where it makes that pew noise or whatever.
I thought it was silent. I just didn't know because
Yeah.
it's only.
Yeah, so you pop back and then you start to walk. You're sort of crouched down and crawling until you get probably 30 feet away from the windmill, and then you start going full blown sprint. I'm talking ears flapping in the wind. His tail is like going all over the place, and his tongue is out the left side of his mouth. And as he comes up,
Hey, I couldn't get any peek inside, but there's definitely something going on in there. I don't think that lady's here, but it sounded like children.
Do you think it sounds relatively safe to go through?
I don't have much to go on, but if I had just come up with this with no information, I would say yes. But she also is magic. She hit me with magic. I'm a little nervous, but at this point, I feel like our only chance is to knock on that door or bust it down or leave it. But I think, Ishmael, you want to prove yourself. So
Well, what does everybody think? Think it's a good idea?
so Ismark, he looks and says,
did
as much as
Ishmael.
I do want to prove myself worthy of running the village of Borovia, if we go in there just barging down the door, what if we're caught by something we don't understand? I mean, I saw her yesterday take you out with one spell.
I was pretty weak, so we had already been in a couple fights from that spooky house. But she is magical, but there's a lot of us. It was just me, a weak me. Now, don't forget I said I heard children's voices, and you said children were taken from your town. You could return to your town with missing children. How would that feel?
He does have a point.
Well,
I
if
mean,
you're standing with me, then I guess we have no other way but onward. Then, and he draws his sword.
let's do this.
Okay. So I meant to describe this. I didn't know Snoopy was just gonna bink pop in. But as you guys start to round on the other side where the pathway is, the onion domed edifice leans toward or forward and to one side, as though trying to turn away from the stormy gray sky. You see gray brick walls and dirt-covered windows on the upper floors. A decrepit wooden platform encircles the windmill above a flimsy doorway leading to the building's interior. Perched on a wooden beam above the door is a raven. It hops about and squawks at you, seemingly agitated, as you guys approach. And real quick, I'll put you guys here. For all purposes and intent, you're actually like over here, but the map's not big enough to put all of you there. So this raven is looking at you, and it's ah ah, and it does it a couple more times, and it seems to be annoyed. And then it finally looks as if it gives up and flies away.
Well,
That was peculiar.
you shouldn't be too loud here, but I think those things are trying to protect us. I don't think it really wants. I think this is dangerous, so be careful.
Well,
Who would like to knock on the door?
well, I'm not really good at talking.
I would say Frankie or Boris.
Hmm.
I can do Frankie. I don't care. Not my character.
Frankie is then.
Frankie lifts his pink dwarven hand up and says, "I'll do it." And he walks over and he looks back. You said knock or barge?
Knock.
Frankie knocks on the door.
Okay. So he's a stout dwarf, strong gentleman. Boom, boom, boom. And on the third hit, the door actually creaks open just a little bit.
And then, okay. First, Frankie should have more health than 21. He should have 30. So I'm going to fix that.
Yeah. I don't know why his token.
Because it might be,
Didn't
is it
update.
from the character sheet I'm using? I don't know how that
Shit.
works.
On the character sheet you're using for Frankie, it's
It says
30.
30. Okay.
Weird. Actually, I think I know why. There we go. So now, anytime you use that token, it should work
Cool.
as intended.
All right. So Frankie's going to go, hello? Kinda. I don't know. I don't really want to go in and ruin a surprise or something. Should I move him through that door or no?
As it creaks open, you see that much.
Hello? You kind of
I
push it
believe if you
open.
move the token away, if you look at Frankie's token, you should be able to actually see inside of the windmill now. A little bit.
Yeah.
And if you move your token and you hold Alt and let go of your mouse button, it'll actually drop it where it's not on the grid so that you can actually kind of like move the token around as if you're like looking inside of it.
Oh, cool. So he
Yes,
looks
you say
around.
hello and you don't hear anything.
I'm gonna
So
go ahead and move next with my
and
back against the entrance.
Frankie's gonna pop in, and Snoopy will follow and get in there.
Okay. So the door is wide open at this point, and as you come inside, the ground floor has been converted into a makeshift kitchen, but the room is filthy. Baskets and old dishware are piled everywhere. Adding to the clutter is a peddler's cart, a chicken coop, a heavy wooden trunk, and a pretty wooden cabinet with flowers painted on its doors. In addition to the clucking of the chickens, you hear toads croaking. The sweet smell of pastries blend horribly with the stench that burns your nostrils. An awful odor comes out of an open, upright barrel in the center of the room. Warmth issues from a brick oven against one wall, and a crumbling staircase ascends the wall across from it. Shrieks and cackles from somewhere higher up can cause the old mill to shudder. So every now and then, you guys do hear kind of what sounds like someone laughing, as well as someone like doing a quick "ow," kind of thing.
Is this not the cart that the lady had, right?
No, it's a different one. This one's holding the chicken coop and stuff.
Okay.
As you guys
I'll
start to
go.
pour inside,
I was gonna say, let's
does
go.
Ed stay outside?
I'll go in last.
Okay. Just because I don't, the more tokens in there, it makes it harder for you guys to actually see sort of what's on there on the map. So Ismark and Irene do come inside, but I'm keeping their tokens outside for now.
Oh, I can control Ed too. Oops.
Oh, let me change that.
You're over here now.
You said there's
Oh
just
my
a
god.
smelly barrel in the middle of the room.
Yeah.
I'd like to go peek in that.
Okay. So let's see. So when you get over towards that barrel, it's a glistening greenish black ichor.
What's that?
It smells awful. For Snoopy, I would assume you're kind of sniffing around and stuff.
Oh, duh.
You do
Eagles always do
see kind of littered all throughout the floor, various tiny little human bone fragments.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's see. Did you say there was a chest?
Yeah.
I want to go check on the chest. Typical rogue.
Let's see. So as you go over to the wooden trunk, you notice that there's tiny holes that are drilled into the lid of it, and once you get closer to it, the croaking of toads gets louder, and when you sniff it, you can definitely smell that this little trunk holds the toads.
The toads. All right, I don't really feel like opening up a can of toads.
Hold on. Everything's blank on me, and I can't look at my character sheet.
Interesting, because your token looks fine to me.
Yeah, like
It
on my end, like.
it might be your browser.
All right, let me see.
Unless... Oh! You know what it is? I accidentally kicked you off of your own character sheet and gave it to full control to Joe. That's what happened. Boom. You should be good now. Can you see shit now?
Okay. Still can't see shit, but I got my character back.
Okay, I'm gonna repopulate your token then.
There we go.
Cool. My bad. I'm a noob.
Straight man.
I want to tell them that I saw bones because I don't know if they were aware of children.
Yeah, upon further investigation, especially because Boris happens to be a human, he grabs one of the fingers, or the finger bones, and you can definitely tell that this is, or used to belong to, a human child.
Well, that's grim.
All right, boys, let's do this. Snoopy Jenkins.
As Snoopy starts running up the stairs. Also kidding, I don't think you do that yet.
No, not yet. I'll sneak, though.
Yeah. So, a couple other things you see is littered about the cabinets. You see a bunch of wooden bowls, and there's a bunch of different herbs and baking ingredients. To include, but not limited to, flour, sugar, and some other sort of really, really tough white powder.
That is bone.
You know, yeah, it does smell like, when you, like, trim your nails, that smell you get, it kind of smells like that as you get closer.
It's ground up bones. Trust me, I'm a dog. I know what bones smell like. So,
Okay.
I'm gonna sneak up these stairs. Oops. Be a good boy.
Okay. All right. So as
Do you
you get
actually
up
hear
to
like laughing like that, like
Yep.
Mr. TJ's playing? Okay.
So go ahead and roll me stealth as you creep up the stairs.
Stealthy boy.
So you guys watch as Snoopy is going up the stairs, and every couple steps, as he steps down, you start to hear the creaking of the wood, and he stops himself, and then he picks it up and places his paw in a different location. Following his same path, the rest of you are able to mimic this without screeching or making any of the wood creak. And it brings you to the upper level, for Snoopy anyway. Who else follows him?
I'm right behind him.
Frankie will be right behind Ed. Unless you want to go in front of Frankie.
It doesn't matter to me. Where do you guys think I'd be best at?
You and Frankie are pretty much...
So as long as we're on opposite, right? You said he's a...
Yeah,
Okay,
so either way. Ismark and Irene, they both have their... Well, Ismark, just so you guys are aware, has a long sword. And Irene has a rapier, to be specific. And they do have their weapons drawn, just in case. They both or whisper to you guys before you head upstairs. We'll keep watch down here, just in case she comes back.
good plan. Alright, so there's nothing up here, so it looks like we'll continue upwards.
Well, let's see.
Unless, what is up here?
Let's see. So you see that the dirt-caked windows allow very little light to enter this 8-foot-high chamber, most of which is taken up by a large millstone connected to a wooden gear shaft that rises through the ceiling in the center of the room. A stone staircase continues up towards the sound of loud cackling, which is starting to get louder and louder as you hear it.
I'll whisper to Ed. Ed, can you clear one of those windows of dust for me?
Gotcha.
And then...
Okay. Ed, roll a stealth check.
Shit.
You're wearing heavy armor, right? Or medium?
Medium.
Okay. Yeah, just a regular stealth check.
I made a mistake.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay. So, as Ed walks up, he takes his hand and like hits the glass, trying to dust it off, but it's so brittle that he actually shatters it, and all of a sudden the cackling stops, and you can hear a thud on the level above you.
Let's look at him.
The music
tilt
will
my
have
head.
cackling, but the cackling does stop.
Seriously?
Well, I say I bit clumsy.
That's okay. Element of surprise wasn't important.
Can I touch this mill and cast light on it?
Yeah, definitely. So you cast light, and what you notice real fast as you're casting the light spell, the door above you opens and closes, but you don't see anything come out.
Oh, what was that?
Frankie says, I don't know, but fuck this. And he starts running up the stairs.
Okay.
It's nice playing characters that aren't mine.
Alright, so Frankie gets up to the top of the stairs, his heavy dwarven feet smacking the ground as he runs up.
And I want him to try to bust straight through the door.
Okay. Strength check for Frankie.
Strength or pure strength or athletics?
Pure strength. Actually, yeah, go ahead and do athletics. What's his... I guess he's proficient in it, right? So it just adds a
Yeah.
3. Okay, so
Yeah.
an 8. So Frankie tries to shoulder the door, and he kind of pulls back, and he's like, "Ah, fucking locked." You hear on the other side, you hear a woman. Well, forget you did that if you leave now. Otherwise, it'll be trouble.
He's gonna
The
reach for
cackling
the.
begins.
Do we recognize this voice?
It's
This
very
Snoopy.
similar, but it's a lot more hoarse. I just don't know how to mimic a hoarse-sounding voice. Unfortunately, I'm not that good.
Gotcha. But it's not the same lady that was at the town.
It's not the same lady, no.
Okay. And Frankie looks back towards me and Ed, and I'll go up towards him, give him a nod. I don't know what you're doing, Ed. Or Boris, I don't know where you're at.
Oh, Boris should be up here.
Yeah. There we are.
I'll remain right behind Snoopy.
I'll bring up the rear still.
So now Frankie's gonna try to just open the door with his hand.
Okay, and he notices that it is locked.
Here comes Snoopy with the good old lockpick.
And as he moves the doorknob, last chance.
Come out here, witch, and face us.
We just want to have a nice little chat.
Ye old skank.
You hear the lock click as if it's been unlocked.
Frankie pushes that door open.
Okay. So as he does, let me show you what you guys see.
Oh yeah,
Fireball.
like I don't have dark sight right now. Everything's like limited to what I can see.
I think we're in a hallway.
Well, yeah, y'all are. So it's if you move. Oh,
If you move
yeah.
out of this little stairwell, you can see everything. It's just a weird.
Yes, it's the dynamic lighting to sort of capture. Because yeah, as you go up the stairwell, it's like a little corridor. You can't see past it.
Gotcha. Okay, never mind then.
Okay, so as Frankie busts open the door, you don't see anybody in there, which is strange. You definitely heard somebody there, but you don't see anybody. Let's see. I gotta read a thing. As you guys sort of walk into this door, you do see the thick wooden gear shaft that's in the center of the crammed circular room. You see on the floor there are long needles. One of them looks like it has some fresh blood on it, but it's in the center of the. Let me bring you guys to this part of the map too, real quick. So it was just recently used to prick somebody's finger, but you're unsure whose. In a rotting wooden closet, you see 3 crates stacked one atop another with small doors set into them. Next to the closet is a heap of discarded clothing. A ladder climbs to the wooden trapdoor in a 9-foot-high ceiling. A moldy bed with tattered canopy stands nearby. So the little ladder is right over here where Snoopy's currently at, and it goes towards the very top of the windmill.
Are there windows up here?
There are, and they are caked.
I want to do. Am I oriented enough to know where the front of this windmill is?
I would say so. Yeah.
I would want to. I want to. I'm assuming the windows are brittle here. I want to open it and check and see if my buddies down there are doing all right.
Okay. So you don't see the latch. It doesn't look like these were made to open.
I'll break it.
But you are able to delicately dust away, and you kind of look, and in the distance, you see a cart.
Do I see my friends?
No,
Is
they're
Mark
on the
and-
first floor.
Oh, they're inside.
Yes,
Guys,
they followed you
the-
guys inside.
Is it going towards us or away from us?
The cart is coming towards you guys, but it looks like it's probably about 200 feet away.
Guys, the lady from the town is coming. Ismark, close the door. I don't know. What should we do here? We can
Yeah.
go up the stairs. Does anybody want to go up the stairs? Ladders aren't my forte.
We're already
Blink
far
up.
enough here. Might as well keep going.
All right, let's do it. Do you want Frankie to do it?
Yeah,
Frank.
Frankie.
Frankie will climb the ladder up to the trap door.
Okay. So Frankie starts to climb up, and you guys are kind of watching him. And as he gets up there, you hear from beneath you, you hear, "What the blazes?" And then all of a sudden, like a crack of lightning coming from the first floor. And it sounded like Ismark was saying those things.
Well, that was quite weird, wasn't it?
Did you say? Sorry. Did it sound like lightning cracked from downstairs?
From downstairs, yes.
Am I intuitive to know that they just got hit by a spell of lightning?
Yeah, I would think you guys understand that there are spells that produce lightning, and you just heard one of them.
I'm gonna run downstairs. Snoopy is.
Okay.
Sorry, this doesn't seem like the easiest map to DM on.
It's not. Let me get... So Snoopy runs downstairs. Boom.
I'm following.
Okay. Boris runs downstairs. Boom. So as you guys get down there, you see the unconscious body of Irene, and is currently in possession of this really ugly young woman who's wearing these silk shawls and a gown of stitched flesh. And she's currently holding Irene and sort of sniffing her hair and licking her neck. And the other woman is standing there with her fingers recently. You can see the lightning sort of like crackling from her fingertips as she is pointing towards Ismark, who is he's got a knee down and he's got his sword sort of holding him up. He looks like he's really hurt from what just happened. So you intrude, and you brought visitors. Not to mention, you brought her. We thank you
Puppies
for that.
Puppy's attacking.
Okay. So after Puppy attacks, everyone else go ahead and just roll initiative. Snoopy, you are the only one that can get a free attack off. So after you roll initiative, go ahead and roll your attack.
So I'll blink over here. Or would this count as flanking or no?
That would right there.
Okay, I'll do that.
Nice. minus. Okay, so let's see. I'll do it. Boris is on there now.
Oh
Ed is
shit!
on
Sorry.
there.
Let me get Frankie.
You're good. Cool.
Some pretty high initiatives there, boys.
My initiative always disappears.
Let me find out why.
So we are fighting 2 hags.
For now.
Maybe 3.
Okay. So now let me get some appropriate music. But before we begin the battle, I have to use the bathroom as well. So how about we take 5 right here real quick?
Alright, sounds good.
Everyone use the bathroom, grab a drink, do whatever you gotta do. And then we'll be right back.
Si, senor.
Cool.
I think this will do. I'm back.
I'm here. Brady, you look at my rolls for my crit. 1, 1.
Yeah, it's really funny actually.
But then my sneak attacks are decent.
Yeah, your sneak attack is where a lot of the good rogue damage comes from.
That's where it all comes from. Otherwise, they're basically useless.
True. I think the music's coming in too loud for the stream. That should be a lot better. We have a viewer.
I think it's Nicole.
Is it? Or actually, hold on. Martin, are you still here? Oh shit, Martin's been with us the whole time. What up, man?
Alright.
So Boris does go last. But I'm gonna eat my food, and once I'm done with my food, then we'll go ahead and continue. Hey, hi pal. Go lay down. Go lay down. Splinter's giving me the saddest puppy eyes. I'm gonna show the stream. Oh, Splinter! Puppy! Puppy! Say hello! Say hello! Oh, the pal. And that is Splinter, everybody. Don't we all love Splinter? And if you don't love Splinter, there's something wrong. Appreciate it, Joyce. Splinter, Joyce says you're so beautiful. Yeah, you are. Splinter says, thank you. I know.
Boy.
Martin, just so you're aware, I have always been... My nature voice actually comes from my Splinter voice. They're one and the same. Go lay down. Go lay down. Hey, Zach, you back?
Were we talking about Nature Walk last session?
Think so, yeah.
I actually have a signed picture
Hello?
from
Hello?
Rodney Pepperbottom.
Really?
Yeah.
That is epic.
Boy.
One could say, that's pretty neat.
It is pretty neat. I bought like a shirt and package from him for somebody, and I kept the signed photo.
Hell yeah. They can go get their own signed photo.
You're right.
Joyce, I think we're both impartial. Milo's majestic, but you just haven't seen Splinter in the light. Alright, so, top of the round is Ismark, who with his longsword drawn and with Snoopy flanking, he's going to, let's see, he's going to two-hand his longsword and make 2 longsword attacks. Even at advantage, one of them misses. As he tries to do a cool maneuver where, even though he's got his sword planted in the ground, he tries to sort of draw it up. But this movement is totally read by the ugly ass woman, and she sort of ducks or dodges to the side. But then he gets the correct formation and goes in for a swing and hits her, dealing very minimal damage, unfortunately. Very low dice rolls.
What were
But that'll do it for his turn. No, not as low as yours, but still pretty low. Irene will make a death saving throw. Noted. And now it is time for the old women. They look to each other. Should we, sister? Oh, I think we shall. One of them, the one to your left, Snoopy, is going to it's going to move to this side over the body of Irene. So I'm actually going to move Irene. Wherever this woman is where Irene is as well for now.
Okay.
So as she moves out of your threat, if you would like to roll or take an attack of opportunity, you may.
Absolutely.
That will hit. And as she gets over here, she casts a spell. And you see the lightning from her fingers zap forward. Da. She does it in such a way I need Ed and Boris to make a dexterity saving throw, as well as Ismark.
Yikes.
Would that just be... How would I click that on the character sheet?
Yeah, so on your character sheet, if you look on the sort of left side, but in that sort of... So you see where your public and 2 GM buttons are?
Got it.
If you go 3 down, click dexterity, and that'll be how you do saving
Attaboy.
throws. Alright, so Boris, you only take 9 lightning damage, whereas Ed, you take a 18 lightning damage. And you guys watch as Ismark looks like he takes a brunt of this as well. And he's not looking good at all.
He's still up?
He is still up, but barely. You should be able to see his health bar now. I believe you should.
Oh yeah, I do
be
see
able
it.
to. Okay. Yeah, so he's not looking good. The other woman is going to take a swipe at him with her long ass fingernails, you see, as she goes in, and it rakes across the splint mail that Ismark is wearing. So the cloth that he's got on above, you watch as the like sort of gets shredded apart by these nails. And she kind of looks at him and goes, huh, tricksy, huh? As a free action, her being right next to that barrel, she knocks on it 3 times. And that'll end her turn. Frankie's turn.
Frankie just gets so freaking pissed off. He just starts screaming. He jumps down. Obviously, he goes into rage. He jumps down, gets between Ismark
Wrong
and...
one.
What?
I pressed the wrong screen button.
He jumps over Ismark and lands between him and the... I'm assuming that is him. And he's gonna make a attack with his great axe on that egg.
Okay. The one closest to him.
Yeah, between him and Ismark.
Okay.
Your battle. Great axe. Oh, I mean, come on.
Joe, we should probably just kick Robert out and let you play 2 characters. You get all these crits.
Yeah, but yikes on that.
I don't believe.
20 and a 1.
Yeah. So let's see. Okay, cool. That is the correct damage. Okay. So total
Rolling low,
11
too.
damage coming across.
I think
Um,
what's Frankie? What else he got? That's basically it for a level 3 barbarian, right? He's just resistant
believe
to
so,
all
yeah.
damage. Okay.
correct. So I'm gonna move the tokens, so you should be able to see her health bar and get a relative idea of what she's looking like. Speaking of looking like, this is what her character looks like.
Yeah, she's pretty bad. I'll hit that.
You would hit a tree, dude. I'm kidding. Alright, so that is Frankie's turn. Snoopy.
Well, I'll do the old poke him with the pointy end on this bitch. Oh my god.
Bro,
Jesus Christ,
quit.
dude.
That's okay. Brady, that's 3 crits on this chick in a row. She's this. Do you have that rule?
Not following. What is that?
Oh, I've played with some DMs that if you 3 crit a mob, it dies instantly. Because that's 3 crits in a row.
Interesting.
But that's not your
Let's see,
thing.
5e, optional rule. 3 crits. Let's
It's
see.
it's a 1 in 8,000 chance that happens.
So yeah, it does. I mean, there are a lot of people that say they do this, and I'm reading a lot of the horror stories of DMs because obviously, if there's 3 crit rolls or 3 critical hits in a row, what happens when you crit miss? And it's kind of shitty if your character were to instantly die because they can't stab the enemy, but they can stab themselves.
Yeah, I don't care. I just didn't know if you did that.
Yeah, no, we.
So-
I've. That's a cool rule, but yeah, I would definitely want to enforce it before a game begins. So maybe in the next
Totally.
campaign we can do it.
All right, whatever.
Because yeah,
It's all
the
good.
odds of that happening, yeah, are very slim. But it would be neat to just insta kill a boss. Regardless,
Well, anyway.
she's definitely a lot more hurt than her sister. I don't know if you can actually see it. If you zoom in, you can kind of tell. I'll
Yeah, I
bring
can
her
see
down
it.
a little bit more.
And as a bonus action, I'll disengage and run up here. Oh no, I don't
Okay.
want it. I'll run like upstairs around the corner.
Okay.
I don't want to get
Cool.
hit by lightning.
Okay, so you run upstairs. Ed, it is now your turn as you watch Snoopy whoop some ass and then proceed to run away with tail tucked between his legs, just in case.
Still a bit disoriented from the lightning. I decide to go ahead and hit myself with some of that cure wounds. So I'm going to roll for that.
Good call.
Okay, go ahead and heal yourself up 10. So if you click on your token and click in the red bubble, it should pop up a thing, and you can press plus 10 and press enter,
Okay.
and it'll actually do the math for you.
No, I was just having a hard
just
time
make it
finding my
quick.
plus key.
Now I'm not saying you don't know how to do 10 plus 3, but I'm just letting you know that that's the function to make it a lot faster instead of having to like delete everything, put in the new stuff.
Okay. Alright, so we're good.
If you want to
and
move,
I'm
you
gonna-
can.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and move back up the stairs for a bit just to regain my senses. And that's it.
She takes a swipe at you as you get out of her threat range, which sort of sparks off of your armor as well, and she goes, "Ah, fine."
Filthy
Boris.
bitch.
Your
Yeah.
Get in there, Boris.
I'm just moving to the one closest to me. And raging.
All right.
And Oop. My bad, I meant to hit that once.
The two-handed.
Yeah, just one time.
No, yeah. Okay, yeah. So a 13 does not hit, unfortunately. And you're not flanking, but it wouldn't have mattered either way because you rolled two 13s. Somehow. So Boris grabs his battle axe and two-handing it, he goes for an overhead swing, and as he comes up above his shoulders, the edge of his axe hits one of the wooden cross beams and kind of throws him off balance as he comes down and smacks into the wood floor. But it's only enough to kind of crack it. It doesn't like get seeped into it. But she kind of looks at you and hisses.
Frankie kind of
You
like
can see-
look,
Go for
Frankie
it.
gives that face over to him like, you gotta get angry.
So the woman looks at you and she bares her teeth, and you can see they're like, some of them are like rotted and black holes, and there's actually a bunch of maggots that start crawling and seeping out of her lips as she hisses at you. Top of the round, we got Ismark going in to do his thing, and he will hit on both of those attacks.
My man.
And then he will end his turn. Irene will do another thing. And then the old woman is going to hold an action. The one that's holding Irene. This is your final warning. Lay one more finger on my sister and the girl dies. And the other woman kind of stands back a little bit as she holds an action as well. Frankie, your turn.
I don't really know what I want to do here. Frankie is gonna kind of. He's still gonna be. Oh wait, is that a barbarian thing where you have to attack in a turn? I don't know the.
You have
rules
to
of
attack
barbarian.
or be hit, or you lose your rage.
So if I hold an attack action, is it? To
Yeah,
the
your
end
rage won't
start
end
of-
unless the turn. So, like, even if you were to not attack right now, like for the whole turn, you're just like, I take the dodge action instead. If at the end of the turn you get hit by something, you still maintain your rage. Now, if
Got
the
it,
rest of
okay.
the turn goes without you getting hit, then you would lose it.
So Frankie in this rage is gonna kind of drop and kind of withdraw a little bit, but be very ready to attack this one that's right in front of her if something happens.
Okay.
He's kind of waiting on other people.
All right, Snoopy, your turn.
Snoopy.
I put you
whispers
back
to
on the
Ed.
bottom floor behind Ed.
Snoopy whispers to Ed. Heal her with healing word. And get her up.
Oh my god.
And then I will blink and attack her from behind. You got that?
Got it.
Can we do that, Brady?
Yeah. Now, is it your action to blink?
It's a bonus act. Or, no, I don't even think it's my movement. It's my movement.
Because you can't move with a reaction, unfortunately. So if you
I
got to
can't?
move before... No, you can't. The
Okay.
reaction has to be a held action, so you would have to attack from afar if you want to do that.
Can I try and blink? I'll blink behind. How do I want to do this? Yeah, I'll just come here in front of her.
Okay.
I don't really need to blink.
Okay, so you run back down,
Good.
you got your weapon in hand, and she's looking at you as you get closer, and she kind of squints her eyes. It looks as if she perceives what you're about to do, and her fingers are right against the temples of Irene.
And so I see that and I kind of like back down. Kind of like drop my weapon.
Okay.
Don't like actually drop it, but like be like recoiling like, I'm not really attacking. Or am I?
Okay. Ed, it's your turn.
Okay. All right. It's my turn, right? Sorry, I have to
Correct.
plug my phone back in. Okay.
No, you're good.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and use Healing Word on Irene.
All right, go ahead and roll
You
it.
know what? I'm gonna take Puppy's advice.
Good call. Oh, maybe. I don't know. It might not be a very good call.
Okay. So you cast your magic, and the two ladies look at you and look at each other to see if they're coming under attack, and all of a sudden Irene starts to... so she's awake! Even easier, as as the ugly woman that's holding her like grabs her and holds her even closer, and it looks like she's whispering in her ear. She's still got the spell held. Anything else?
And I will move a bit closer down the stairs behind Boris. And that's the end of my turn.
Okay.
So,
All right, Boris. Your turn.
we have...
I think I'm gonna go. So for Frenzy, would I be able to? Well, you said she's awake, but she's still.
Yeah, Irene she's awake, but she's currently in the arms of this old woman. And this old woman, you can see the arcane magic being held in her fingers right against her temple. All it takes is a split second for her to unleash the spell into her cranium.
I'd like to put my kind of not drop my weapon. I'm put my weapon kind of up, and I will be a flanking
so you still have
position.
So you're not attacking. You're just kind of like making it to where you're like not aggressive.
Yeah, I'm make sure it looks non-aggressive, but I'm getting in a flanking position. I think with the I don't want to make that one freak out with right here's fine if I could do that.
Okay. Yeah. So as you go, they keep a careful eye on you, and at the end of the round, you notice that the arcane magic from their fingers disappears. At the top of the round, about 50 feet outside, you guys can hear a wagon approaching.
Do our held actions go away, Brady?
Unless you use them.
Once I see that arcane magic go away, I want to attack.
Well, so the way it would work is at the end of the round, if you attack, they still have a chance to use theirs.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So the arcane magic's going away as your reaction's going away at the same time. Since all
I
the
see.
reactions would happen at the same time. So if you want to attack, you can.
No,
But
not will.
in that
I
case,
didn't
yeah, the
understand
arcane
that.
magic doesn't. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so at the top of the round, Ismark takes his long sword and he throws it onto the other side of the room and tosses his hands up. Please, she's my dear sister. Don't hurt her. And he will hold his action. Irene, seeing the situation that she's in, starts to struggle a bit, but not enough to incur the wrath of this ugly-ass woman. And she goes, we'll do whatever you want. The two women go ahead and head up towards, first this woman is going to make a grapple check against Irene. Come, girl! And Irene does not fight back. As they head towards the stairs, they move out of Snoopy's attack range. So if you want to opportunity attack, you can. Otherwise, they start to climb up the stairs with Irene in hand.
I think. So they have not. Did she do an action already? Did she already try to grapple, or how did that work?
Yeah, she did.
I'm gonna attack him as she walks away.
Okay. Alright. That will hit. I'll say you get your sneak.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So be it! As the other one watches you do that and lightning springs from her finger, I need Snoopy and Irene to make dexterity saving throws. Okay, so Snoopy will take only 12 lightning damage.
Oh, damn.
And you hear Irene scream. And the lady lets go of her as she falls over dead.
Oops. Why can't I adjust my health here? There it goes.
It's probably because of the amount of tokens. I think it might make it a little laggy. At this point, Ismark screams, "No!" Fine. We only protected ourselves. If Frankie, Boris, and Ed also want to make attacks of opportunities, they may, as they start running up the stairs.
Alright, I'm going to swing for my mace.
That misses.
You said I can go ahead and make an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, if you want to.
Yep.
And then, which one are you guys attacking? The one that was closest to the door, or the one that was holding Irene?
Well, I was holding Irene.
Okay.
Frankie's attacking the one that was in front of him.
Okay. Zach, which one are you attacking?
The one that was also holding Irene.
Okay. So the one that was holding Irene will take that damage. And the one that was in between Frankie and Boris as... actually, how does Frankie want to do this for the one?
So she's starting to run upstairs, right?
Yep.
So he's gonna take the pole. He's gonna grab the top of his axe and put the pole down between her legs, and as she falls, swing it up and just lop her head off.
Okay. So you guys watch. Frankie takes he does a tripping motion and then gets the head of the axe perfectly aligned to to where he just has to swing upwards, and it slices the throat of this woman. Doesn't get the head all the way off, as it was the exact damage to kill her. But a nice slit to where you guys see this black blood start to drip out as the life leaves this woman. The other one has this fury in her eye as she looks at you all. When she gets back, you're all toast. And she runs back, or runs to the second story and closes the door behind her. Frankie's turn.
Is he raged? Or do I need to rage again?
You'd have to rage again.
He's gonna rage again, and he's gonna run up these stairs and try to blow this, or try to get through the door.
Okay. Free object interaction. He's able to like sort of slam it to where it goes open. And as he gets up there, he sees that the woman has already started to go up the second flight of stairs.
Am I able to catch her with my movement or no?
Yes, Frankie is for sure. He's got more movement speed than she does.
Alright, he'll get up there and attack at her with the great axe.
Okay.
Man.
That unfortunately misses.
Oh, I had to say it first. I was gonna attack recklessly.
Oh, recklessly? Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta definitely say it first.
Yeah, I know. I forget. Rats.
Yeah, it's all good. I'll give it to you just because it's not your character.
Oh, that's cheap.
What? Now she has advantage on the attack she goes against you.
I guess that's true.
With that, it is Snoopy's turn. As you watch Frankie run up the stairs and you can hear the axe hit something fleshy.
Snoopy looks at Irene and then looks at Ismark. His teeth, nobody's ever seen him look like this. His teeth show and he's just blinks and he runs up the stairs to get up to where he heard Frankie. And he's going to do the same thing and try to stab her. Oh my god.
You need to quit, dude. Are you hacking? Martin, I know you can't see the rolls, but this motherfucker has rolled 4 crits tonight in a single battle. 4 of them. Okay. Anything else for Snoopy?
No, that's it.
Okay. Alright, Ed.
Alright, so we can go ahead and move up the stairs. Alright, so where is the threat?
Second
Up here.
Alright.
And because there's a big ass barbarian in that scrunched little space, you won't be able to get up in melee range.
Okay. So, but I'm at least in spell range though.
You'd be able to get a vantage point for a spell, yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and cast this the Sacred Flame real quick.
Alright, so she's going to attempt a dexterity save of 13. She does make it.
Freak.
So, yeah.
Well, I guess I'm just chilling out here now.
Alright, Boris, your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna rage again. Second one, and I guess it'd be. Where's the her token?
It'll be upstairs. So if you're running upstairs, As you're running, you kind of glance out the door, and you see that woman from the village running, and she's 10 feet out of the door as you start running up the stairs.
As I'm running past the windows on the stairs.
Yeah, well, as you're running past the front door, so if you look at your token right now and look out that door, you should see the woman. You see her?
Yes. Can I yell? It's just me that sees her? Or who originally
Correct.
saw her? I think Snoopy saw her.
No, Snoopy didn't see her.
Oh, well, I'm gonna yell to the party that the old, what are they, dream treats? Dream ladies here. And I'm gonna just stand at the door. Can I shut the door? I'm gonna jam the door shut in her face.
Alright, yeah, go ahead and, as your action, go ahead and roll me a strength check to see how jammed it is.
That wouldn't be the saving throw, you just want to go on.
Yeah, just the regular. Just click strength on the left side of your... There you go. Okay. So you guys hear Boris get angry, and then he slams the door, and it slams to where, like, the hinges kind of crack the wood a little bit, and you kind of tug on the door handle, and it does not move. And you smile. Kind of like how Hulk does when they say, "Hey, Hulk, go smash," and he looks at Black Widow, and then all the memes of jizzing and stuff happen.
Gross.
Top of the round, Ismark runs to his sister's body and begins to cradle it.
Strong action.
She doesn't exist. The woman that you guys are fighting on the stairs looks at you all. "You'll regret all of this," and disappears.
Damn dirty bitch. Where'd she go?
Well, that sucks.
It wasn't a spell. It was... Or wait. Yeah, it was not a spell. You guys don't have counterspell anyway. At the door, Boris, you can hear the wiggling of the doorknob, and then you can hear the banging on it. "Open this goddamn door right now, or I swear." You hear a couple steps back, and then you hear lightning being shot up in the air. Really, really loud. "You're all doomed." Frankie's turn.
Frankie is so mad and so confused because he saw this thing. He's gonna like wave his axe, like to see if is she invisible, like there, kind of. And I'm assuming she's not there.
She is not there at all. No.
So then he's gonna run downstairs, to reinforce that door with him, and as an action, he wants to stay angry, so he smacks himself in the face.
Okay. Take 1 bludgeoning damage.
And that's halved, so it's 0. No, not negative.
Halved
1.
rounded up.
Alright, 29.
Because he has to take damage to to keep it. So if it was halved and rounded down, he would lose his rage anyway.
I know, that's what I was like, God dang it.
Yeah. Alright, Snoopy.
Snoopy is going to chill up here just at the top of the stairs. But I think I'm gonna use. I think I have a health potion, and I'm gonna use it.
Okay.
2d4 plus 4 or plus 2 probably. Am I right?
Correct. Yeah. 2d4
I don't know how to
plus
roll
2.
that.
Here you go. Click the D question mark
Oh shit.
for how many? Oh shit, does it not work? Damn it. My macros don't work for you guys. They're about to though. So if you type in the chat box R or type in
Is it slash roll?
type in 2. No, just type in. It should be to where you can do like 2d4. Oh, it is /R space 2d4, and then it'll roll it. That's for macros that you don't have to do the
So,
/R.
8.
Cool. So yeah, you heal that amount.
And then I'm gonna go down and got the guilt that this puppy feels. And he's gonna go over and just look at this horrific sight. He know that it was his fault.
Try clicking on one of the dice buttons again for me.
Nice.
Alright, cool. Fixed it. Okay. With that, Ed, your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and run downstairs real quick. And step over this body that's ill. And just look at that, just be utterly disgusted. And I'm also gonna go ahead and cast Cure Wounds on myself again.
Okay. Alright, Boris, your turn.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna hold the door.
Hold the door.
I reinforce the door.
Hold the door.
Hold the door! Okay.
Horror.
Let's do. So as you hold the door, you don't hear anything on the other side. But you do hear Ismark crying over his dead sister's body. And honestly, a little while goes by with you and Frankie kind of just holding the door and not getting any resistance and not hearing anything. And after about a minute, you hear the sounds of a carriage strolling up the hill.
Oh shit.
You hear a door open. What have you called me for, Morganath?
Those adventurers you brought here are ruining my business. Take care of them. They've killed one of my daughters.
Let us see what is going on. You hear footsteps through the grass. Knock, knock, as he audibly knocks at the same time. It's your old pal Strahd. How about you open the door before I bust it open and hurt someone? Irene.
Oh god.
Yeah, that's what I said.
It's all fucked.
And he destroyed the
Irene.
module. I'm getting away from Irene. Actually.
You're testing my patience. Open the door. And as he
I
says
start
that,
saying
Boris and Frankie, it sounds almost as if he's behind you when he says that. But you look around real quick and he's not. And you're kind of weirded out. It's like the hair is definitely standing on the back of your necks.
I'm
Fine.
gonna start saying a prayer in silence to myself.
Okay.
Snoopy fucked up.
All of a sudden, are you still holding against the door, or are you backed away from it, Boris?
So I'm gonna back up and throw something crazy out. I'm backing up and I'm grabbing that big bucket of what probably melted those bones or melted something in the middle of the room,
Okay.
and I'm gonna be ready to chuck that bucket at that big
The
barrel
BBG.
at Strahd.
Okay. Noted. So
Easy.
you grab the bucket. Roll a strength check because it's like a 10-gallon bucket full of liquid. So it's pretty heavy.
Do good.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say because of, your strength modifier, you're able to hold the bucket and get it ready. And what you see is the door hinges. You see 4 fingers slice through it and retract. On the bottom door hinges, 4 fingers slice through it and retract. And then you hear like a puff of like wind as the door falls down with Strahd standing there as he has just cast Gust and made it fall. And you can see there's like a fury in his eyes. His teeth are coming out, are protruding from his lips. Go ahead and roll an attack. Roll your two-handed great axe just for the attack roll, not the damage. The damage it'll be different from a D12 if it hits.
You saying me?
Yes.
I wasn't going in with the plan. I was just immediately.
Oh,
when he came through.
I thought you were
No,
going to
no.
throw it.
It was just pick it up and get ready.
Oh, okay, gotcha. In that case, never mind. Don't do that.
Yeah.
The door falls down and Strahd walks in, seeing all of you here. He looks around. Where is my love? Where is I? And as he's about to say her name, he looks over towards where Ismark is cradling her body. And silence. This is the most uncomfortable silence you have ever seen. Who did this? He looks back to Morganeth. Where is your daughter? Which one of you is responsible for killing Irene? He walks towards Ismark. Hand her over. I will not ask twice. Ismark kind of holds back a little bit, but realizes there's really nothing he can do, and hands her the body, or hands Strahd the body. And he goes down and does that really majestic, like, knees are over his one arm while the head is kind of dipped back on the other. And he looks. It's very troubling to see perfection go to waste. I'll ask one last time, who did this? Very well.
Frankie says it was one of the sisters.
Lightning, hag lightning.
And he looks over her body and does see the lightning. He goes up to Frankie. Hold her for me.
As he does.
I'm still saying a prayer just a little bit more audible.
Strahd walks outside. And Morganeth, I'll assume that you did not have anything to do with this, no?
No, I just got here.
Where is your daughter? Your other daughter. And with that, the other hag pops out and goes,
Good, Morganeth, you're here.
and all Strahd with the quickest of finesse. You guys see the old woman's, or I would say Frankie can see it for sure, and Boris can see it for sure because they're like in the doorway. where the rest of you are kind of like by the stairs. But you see, as this woman is mid-speech talking, and all of a sudden there's silence as she moves her lips. Strahd then comes back towards Frankie. I will take her. And he gives it to her. And as Strahd walks away, all of a sudden blood starts spewing out of this woman's throat as she grabs her throat, and the blood just starts oozing faster and faster until she bleeds out and dies. Strahd walking away. Morganeth, I do not believe I will ever be able to forgive you for this. Let those people go, for they will incur my wrath soon enough. But today I mourn. And if I were you, I would never be seen again, for the next time we cross paths, your life will become forfeit. He hops into his carriage, it closes, and it starts to slowly move away. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Damn.
Oops.
Well, I'm still saying my prayer.
Ugo Suiza, 5 feet swell. Ugo Caesar, 5 feet swell. All right. Solid work, everybody. Honestly, did not expect you to go to the bone grinder tonight. Be for real. But because of that, you guys are level 4.
Oh, dope.
So do we?
Well,
if you
Heat
want to
time.
roll, if you want to roll your HP, go ahead and do so by clicking hit dice on your character sheet. Or if you want to take the average, you can do that and add your Constitution modifier to your new HP. So which will it be?
Oh, reroll ones, right?
Yeah, you get to re-roll it once. You can either re-roll it or
Oh,
there you
yeah.
go. All right. So go ahead and take 10 HP for Snoopy.
I'm gonna let Frankie choose when he. I'm not gonna make that choice for him.
I want to roll. Well, you said what do I have to hit?
Hit dice on your. Okay, it should be like towards the middle of the sheet.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's
So you get 3 extra hit points.
Okay.
So you're now at 24 HP. Boris, do you want to take the average, which for you is 7 plus your Constitution, or do you want to try to roll for higher?
I'm rolling.
All right, hit that hit die number. Watch him roll a 1 and get to roll. Okay, never mind.
That's good.
So we'll add. Let's see. I'll do the stuff. I'll add 11 to your. So you don't get the HP back that you lost from the fight, but you do get the 11 as you go up. And so if I believe so, I don't. Obviously, none of you guys have played with me before, but at level 4, you either get, and this is per class. I do the feats. I allow the feats. So if you go through the player's handbook, towards the back of it, actually, let me find you the exact page number, and that'll make it a little easier for you. So if you go to page customization options feats, if you go to page 166 in the player's handbook, there's a long ass list of feats. What these feats do is they essentially give you like different mechanics that your character can do. So for level 4, you get 2 options. You get either A, you get to choose one of these feats, and you essentially get to do whatever that feat says from now until your character dies. Or you can take 2 stat points and put them in any stat of your choice. So you could take the 2 stat points and put both of them into strength. You could put 1 into strength, 1 into constitution, so on and so forth. So you get to choose one of those 2 options. You don't have to choose it right now, I would highly recommend going through the feats themselves, reading them, see what they do. Some of them do give you a stat boost, so you're kind of getting like the best of both worlds. In all honesty, if you can pick a feat that gives you one stat point plus a bunch of other stuff. So that's what every class gets at level 4. Unless maybe it's a homebrew, but I'm almost certain most of the homebrews follow that same thing. So make sure you take a look. If you want any sort of like tips or anything, maybe you want advice on like, hey, what feat would be best between these ones, you send me a message or anything and we can talk about it. Because if you're trying to make your character a little more diverse, feats are my personal choice. Like if you think about stat boost, the math, every +1 modifier is just another 5% chance to do a thing. Whereas a feat is giving you like a plethora of abilities and stuff like that. So I always try to pick a feat if I can, unless it's just like really useless. But that's all up to how you guys want to build your characters. So be thinking of that before the next session. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead and end my stream and I'll be right back.
Alright.
All right, you beautiful people. I did not see that coming. Can we do this? Wow, look at that. This is cool. I did not see that coming. There was no thought in my mind was I need to prepare the old bone grinder. But in all honesty, had Irene not died there, they had everything else set up perfectly. Like they were going to be able to get out of this, I believe, uh, pretty easily because they had killed one of the hags before like any of them had gone down. The only thing is they were going to try to use Irene as a bargaining chip, and Morganeth obviously knows who Irene is because she goes through and peddles her wares through that town, but the other two don't leave, so they have no idea who this person is, but they see an opportunity, so they're like, all right, maybe they care about this woman. And then, adventurers off the street probably actually don't care about her as much as Ismark did, which is why he threw the weapon. I was trying to use that as more of a hint of, hey guys, you should probably stand down, but good old Snoopy wants to go in for the stabby stabby. But this should give a nice dynamic to the game. Obviously, Strahd is extremely pissed off because reasons. I'm not going to say the reasons on here just because I don't want the players to go back and watch this and be like, oh, that's what he's trying to do, because that would ruin the story for him. But there are reasons that Strahd is ultimately more pissed off at them. At first, he was using them as playthings, but now it's personal. So it should be a lot more fun. I think a lot more bad things are going to happen to them, especially in the future going forward from here. So until next Thursday, we'll see you. Peace.